Hey guys, thanks for tuning in to another episode of Going Rogue Podcast. Before we get into it, we're going to take a second and thank some of the companies and the people that make this whole thing possible. The Barn Gym. If you guys are anywhere near Caroline County, Virginia, or Ruth or Glenn, or if you like making a drive and find yourself somewhere near the 95 Route 1 corridor in the northern part of Central Virginia, stop on by and check out the Barn Gym. It is the only 24-hour strength facility in that area. It has everything you need from Highland Games to strongman to powerlifting to grip sports or just general fitness. You can find them at thebarngymva.com, on Instagram at thebarngymva, a period between every word, or you can email them at ltgthebarngym@gmail.com. That's L as in Lincoln, T as in Tom, G as in George, thebarngym@gmail.com. Check them out. HeavyAthlete.com is a cross-compatible database, meaning you can link all of your historical scores from NASGA to your Heavy Athlete profile, regardless of how your name was ever entered. All of your new scores will automatically update into NASGA going forward as well. We've created a pro women and a lightweight women's class, meaning you can finally see where you rank in your actual class. It's receiving updates all the time and is free to use for athletes and ADs. For more information, go listen to the One Turn NASGA No More, or go to HeavyAthlete.com. The one and only Badger Highland Games supply. If you are looking for any and all equipment related to the Highland Games, reach out to Greg Martz. He runs Badger Highland Games Supply. You can find him on Instagram or Facebook by searching Badger Highland Games Supply. He's got a full price list: hammers, weights, sheath forks, sheath bags, anything and everything you could need. He's your man. What is up? All right, maybe Matt will actually get off the couch and come over here now. He's coming.
Give me a second.
I'm allowed to get moving. Yeah. It's a lot of weight to move around. Yeah. It's fine. So, hey, I don't think any of us have ever actually met in person.
At all. So, not IRL.
No. This is fantastic. Well, hi, I'm Jeremy.
I'm Matt.
Matt. And do you want to introduce yourself to all the people, the tons of listeners?
Well, hi, guys. I'm Jarvina. You can call me Jay or Jarvina.
Sweet. We have zero structure here. I don't know if you've ever listened to any of our episodes, but we kind of just chat about anything and everything that you might want to. We're horribly unprepared, but it seems to work out all right. So if my quick stalking and general knowledge pays off, I think you've been in this sport since what, like 2015?
I like to start in 2016 because my first games was Seaside of 2015, and it's in October. And so I hyped and got me hooked, and I was like, heck yeah, when's the next one? They were like, oh, the season's finished. I was like, oh, all right.
Yeah, all that horrible California weather. You really got to cut things out. And then
Right. Yeah. So first full season was 2016.
All right, cool. How did you end up, sorry, I'm just jumping right into this, and that's, I guess, kind of rude of me. Was there anything you wanted to talk about before we just get into the regular old rigmarole? you guys invited me here. Yeah.
I mean, I can do some promoting for my local organization. I know a lot of people want to come out to SoCal to get some throws in, and we have some good competitions out here, and it's fun.
Heck yeah, if there's something you want to plug in, yeah, go for it. I'm all for it.
So let's see, what day is it? So April 6th, we have a season opener. It's more of like a backyarders to get things going. I don't know what happened with Queen Mary. I don't know if that's happened ever again, but yeah. So this is just mainly like, local throwers. You know how we all like, every organization has like their local throwers. You know what I'm saying? So like, for our guys out here, we were like, okay, we got to have something, so start putting up some numbers. So we put together the season opener April 6th out in Vista. And also April 27th in Vista, we do an all-women event, the Valkyrie Games. And it's so fun, so much fun. And it gives an opportunity for the women to actually have a true novice class because we ever get that, like, ever.
No.
So, you come out, no experience needed, and be helped through the day,
That's awesome. Yeah, because y'all have a really strong, it seems like upper end and elite women's class out in Cali. And that was eventually going to be one of the things I was asking about was how is like the depth of the sport out on the West Coast?
I feel like I mean, most of us, besides my bestie Felicia, we have a track and field background,
Mhm.
so um, it just felt kind of like a natural thing to progress to. Actually, I'm lying through my teeth. It wasn't natural. I
Yeah,
know
no
what the
one's
hell
going to fact check
is.
this. It's fine. Lie all you want to.
I've never touched a caber. Didn't even know I was like a pitchfork. What in the country? Wait, oh yeah, that's another question. Am I allowed to cuss? Like, or
Oh
is
yeah,
this a
100. Yeah, we have an explicit rating, and yeah, go
Oh,
nuts.
okay. All right. I was just, I was coming in very professionally, so I was
God,
like,
we're gonna lose $1 of monetization.
Oh no, yeah. Our only paying sponsor is Matt's brother.
Yeah.
Like,
oh.
we're just secretly using this to try and steer people to a whole new website because NASGA is stupid. Everything else is for giggles.
No, for real. I mean,
But,
NASCAR reminds me of. I mean, how old are you guys?
I'm 32.
I'm 26. There we go.
Yeah.
Oh,
You
dang.
forget for a second.
Well, then never mind. Back when I was in school, when computers were just getting hip in elementary school,
Uh-huh.
like that reminds me of like those type of programs where it's very much just
Yeah, it's 100% one of those programs. Someone came up with it in the 90s, and it's just sat there since then. Like, it's not great, but hey, we have a new thing, so hooray. But all right, cool. So yeah, a lot of y'all came from a track and field background. What was your background like, and as far as other strength sports go? Was it solely track and field? Is there other stuff peppered in? Like, how did you end up in this wacky world of cabers and pitchforks and kilts and crap?
It was literally just like track and field throws. At one point, I started training for the heptathlon,
Mm-hmm.
and eventually, I was done collegiately. So I was like, so just working out just to be in shape and stay strong somewhat. But I dropped like hella weight. Like I
Mm-hmm.
was walking around probably like 140, 145 pounds. I'm 5'9", so I
Right.
was so, my husband's good friend, he's Scottish and he's been going to festivals for like years.
Mm-hmm.
And I can't remember what games he was at out here, but like while he was still there, he called my husband and was like, Jarvina needs to get out here and like she'll be good at it. And my
Yeah.
husband's like, what? Right. And so then he got pumped because apparently I must have talked about throwing a lot because when I was like, no, I don't know about this, my husband was like, are you insane? Like that's all you talk about. You talk about throws, you get pumped for like trials. I watch like the track and field stuff that nobody's tuning in for. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
I watch meets, I love throws. So I was like, all right, well let's give this a go. Let's see what's happening. And yeah, it was more the environment that I was like, all right, I'm gonna keep coming back because everybody was super chill. I think that was the
Mm-hmm.
first Beth Burton. If you guys are not familiar with Beth, you need to. She is amazing.
Mm-hmm.
She one of the women. So it was her and Adrian Wilson. Like when I started looking into the sport, I
Mm-hmm.
Googled Highland Games and I just Googled women, to see like,
Yeah.
all right, what was a competition. And yeah, so seeing them, I was like, oh heck yeah. Because they both come from like a track and field background and they were both very welcoming, when I met them. First
Awesome.
day out, I met Beth, and then 2 seasons later, I met Adrian in Florida,
Mm-hmm.
and the sweetest. You know what I mean? So it was like that, like, oh my gosh, these women are amazing, and usually the saying, what's this like? Oh, don't meet your heroes, you'll be disappointed. It was like the complete opposite, and it was just great, and that's why I'm still here doing this, crazy ass sport.
No, awesome. Let's see. Matt's typing away on his phone over here. I was going to use it as a reference, but yeah. So if we call your official start like 2016, was there anything when you started that like gave you a lot of trouble, or was there anything event wise, like specifically coming from a track and field background? Was it the caber and the sheaf and all that super weird stuff, or did kind of everything end up coming halfway natural to you?
No, not natural. I was like, I mean, if I don't know how far your stocking went, but if you looked at my numbers, like, I wasn't like amazing out of the gate. You know what I mean? Like, I was, the stones were okay because even though I
Hmm.
was a shot putter, it was the most familiar.
Yeah.
Uh, and then weight, with me being a discus thrower, that was to my disadvantage because I was dragging the shit out of the weight.
Yeah.
Because discus, I was taught you stay back, you stay torqued with the weight. I can't keep a 28-pound weight like torqued
Yeah.
behind the hip.
I mean,
So
shoot, you still threw it nearly 40 feet by the end of 2016, but
did I?
yeah, 39.11 was your best mark of 2016.
Oh dang.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Weights were my downfall, 40 feet and 73 feet, but all right, yeah, sure.
Oh, shoot. I was literally thinking about this today. Like, not that I forget like who I am or what I can do, but sometimes I'm just like focused on, okay, that was great in the moment and I celebrate it, but then I'm like so focused on beating it. Like
Yeah.
I have my averages and then I have like numbers where I should be in the season.
Hmm.
And not saying that I forget how far I've climbed, but it still feels like, all right, you look at that 39, go look at the top 5 that year in heavyweight. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? That's where I'm always kind of
I
um
I had a moment like that earlier where I was upset with my season opener, even though it was never got above 40 degrees and it was wet the entire day and all that. And I was looking at my numbers and I thought, well, yeah, but this would have kicked my ass a year and a half ago. Like this is like in the moment, it's like, this is shit. And then you think about it, it's like, no, this is okay.
Yeah. It's actually not
I can relax.
the end of the world.
yeah.
But
Why are season openers like that? Like
bro,
I feel
they're the worst. I don't know why. You get all excited and you're like, oh, it's the first time back, and then something is gonna be
Yeah.
fucky somewhere along the line.
yeah. Like
It never fails.
yeah.
But
I'm gonna go get good numbers early. Scratches out.
yeah,
Fuck.
yeah, yeah. I'm gonna have a great season opener tomorrow. Has the flu for a week.
Right.
This is gonna be killer. But that's fine. It's nothing beer can't fix.
There's Jack for that.
Yeah, there is. All right, so cool. So you started in 16. Now, did you do time as a lightweight athlete? Am I remembering that correctly from somewhere? Did you
Yeah,
ever?
I low key kind of dominated that class for
That's what I thought. Okay, because I could have. I feel like what was it like? Maybe 18 or 19 when you like officially made the push to like a full time non lightweight, and we're like, I'm just gonna lean in and go hard. Am I getting my times right?
it was more so 2019. So
Okay.
2019 was kind of like I don't even know what I want to call it. Not a mulligan, but like it was basically okay. So if have you ever worked like new technique in a throw? Like your old
Yeah.
technique is gonna get you like, okay, I'm gonna get this distance. But if you start working like a proper position that you weren't hitting at first and you're just not comfortable, so it's just kind of like, oh, okay, I gotta work at it, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, that's basically was my whole 2019 because I think I had one um, lightweight comp. Actually, I'm lying. I had two. But the first one, it was like I prepared for it and I was kind of fine. The cut was like really hard.
Yeah.
But then I was cut for like Costa Mesa that year, 2019. And I looked like I was stage ready. Like I looked like I could legit like throw on a bikini and hit like, a wellness comp in one because there was no fat on my body. I still had like 6 blues. And that's when I was like, I can't do this shit anymore.
Yeah.
Like I just can't.
Not as someone who's strong and already, what'd you say, 5'9", and that's just
yeah.
the low number to try and be at.
Yeah. So I was like, I'd rather just, I'm gonna work my ass off and I'm gonna earn my spot like at the true top. Like I just felt like I did all that I could do in the lightweight class. Like, I broke records, I won a national title. Like, all right, I want to not only reach the top, but like leave no doubt that I belong there.
Nice. I like that. Hell yeah. Well, sweet. So then the lightweight run was over, and then how did COVID mess with you guys out there? So if we went from 2019, where I feel like we had a ton of like cool stuff happening in the sport in 2019. Matt wasn't involved in it yet, but I remember watching it. It seemed like a ton of people were like on fire and cooking, and 2020 was going to be like everyone's year. And then, at least out here on the East Coast, just everything shut down. Like, all of our festivals went away. Nobody was really doing much of anything. How did that play out for you guys on the West Coast? Was it kind of the same deal?
Yeah, it was. I think we all got one in. Well, because Queen Mary is in February, and I'll never
Yeah.
forget my birthday is March 4th. So I went out to dinner with just like my husband, my son, and my parents, and the Italian restaurant we were in was like empty. And at the time, like, you know, it was still a little bit before they announced what was happening, but I was like, what the fuck is going on? Like, you know, I started questioning, like, what the hell's wrong with this restaurant? And then the next week was like, oh, life is just done. You're inside. So I was like, what? And then everybody, you know, it's basically what everybody went through. Like, oh, this is gonna be like a month or two.
Oh yeah.
Right?
Yeah, we're all just gonna we're gonna train our asses off for a couple of weeks. This is gonna be killer, and then we'll all bounce back. Nope.
Yeah, no. So it was basically, you know, the same. I'm sure everybody went through those struggles of like questioning if it's even worth to keep training, because we had absolutely nothing going on. Not even up until 2021. I didn't compete until Vegas had a backyarder in like November, December of 2021 was when I officially like got one in. But all of 2020, I would say I got to like summer and I was like, why the hell am I, you know, throwing? So then I kind of stopped throwing, and then I was just like in my garage. I was just eating and lifting. That's why I came back like, damn.
It was really easy to keep training until that July and August heat hit, and then you're like, why the fuck am I still doing this? There's nothing on the calendar.
Yeah, I was like, what? Yeah. So
It
was more a mental struggle than anything to be like, all right, yeah, for sure, I'm gonna come back. It's happening, you know.
Yeah.
So, I think the first season back, I went out to Phoenix. Yeah, Phoenix got it going for me, and it just felt like surreal. Like, I think all of us, like, we would pause because, like, I know you guys haven't met me, but like, I'm hella goofy, especially on the field. So like, I just kept like pausing and like doing like awkward poses, and I'm just like, y'all, we really out here right now. Like,
yeah, we're back.
Yeah,
what are you guys doing?
happening? Like, we're all together throwing heavy shit, you know. So
we're doing the thing.
Yeah. Well, yeah, but I feel grateful for it. That's really fucking weird. I wouldn't have said it while I was in it, but like, I didn't have that time to literally just like be eating. I don't even know. I wasn't even tracking macros, but I was fucking eating. Like,
no one outside of the house is gonna see you. Fuck it.
Yeah. So I was like eating, and I was in my garage gym every day. Just listening. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. All right. Well, sweet. So then now we're all past that, and I say as I keep coughing because apparently I'm not. But so it looks like last year was a real bang up year for you, right? Like, think like a 35 plus Braemar, a 42 something open stone, 50 and 80 in the weights, like good hammer numbers. How's that shape?
Keeping 100. My hammers are trash, but it's fine.
Okay, I wasn't gonna point out the difference. Like, if you look at them, I was gonna, just let it roll. But
what's funny too is I had a breakthrough, like, somewhat in the off season before my hip really started bothering me, and I was like, oh shit, people are gonna like, it'd be like, what is Jarvina on? Because something clicked finally in hammers, and I was like, oh, I'm a fucking rocket, and then my hip rocked my ass, and I was like, all right. Maybe next year. Next year will
be the hammer year. Yeah, 2025 hammers.
2025 year of the hammer.
Fuck yeah. So what? That actually was another question I was gonna have is what happened with your hip? I saw you post some stuff about that. What's happening? Is 2024 not going to be the year? We gotta.
Actually, you know what? I am going to accept it as a good year because it's always bothered me ever since like, I was a collegiate athlete. I just figured it was like mobility and genetics because like I I have flat ass feet, just like kinetics, you know what I mean? Like I have
Yeah.
really tight hips and like slightly internal rotation, you know what I mean? So I just like thought, oh, my muscles, ligaments, something. So like I stayed going to my chiropractor and like pain management and all that. And then it started like catching and making like clicking noises. And I'm like, I'm too young for this shit.
Yeah.
And I was thinking like, oh, I had a tear or just something like, oh, it needs to be fixed on that level. And then I got an MRI and they were like, well, the good news is your ligaments aren't that bad. Everything, you know, your cartilage is fine.
Hmm.
There's fraying on, you know, the ligament in your hip. But you have a hip impingement. And I was like, well, what does that mean? They
Yeah.
said basically it's like extra bone growth on the hip that like gets in the way of your hip moving. And
Mm.
so like there's a lot of grinding and uncomfortableness. Like the things that they say to avoid to do is all the things that I do. It's
Yeah.
like no squats, no deadlifting, basically no hinging, no
A lot of
lunging.
explosive hip driven movements. Yeah. Yeah.
Right. And I'm like that, everything, like that's even how I coach people. It's like your power comes for like your right hip. If you're a left-handed thrower, it comes from that left hip, like drive it. Like,
Yeah. Hmm.
um, and I was like, oh, all right. Well, that's a done deal because it's not just, you know, me as a thrower, it's also just me as a person life, like longevity, you know, and I'd rather take care of it right now
Yeah.
than come and imagine what I can do with two hips, you
Right.
know.
Those hammer numbers are going to be bananas.
Seriously, like,
Look out,
oh, it's
everybody. Yeah.
yeah.
That's what you can do. You can just be like, oh, all those other hammer numbers were before I fixed my head. Now it's over.
I'm more excited by weights, like to have like an actual like good strong hip drive. Like,
Oh
whew.
yeah, that'll be nice. Um, well, dope. What's the process looking like that for you? How long is your downtime and your rehab? If you got any idea yet?
I mean, just the like generic version of like recovery. They say it can be like 6 to 10 months. Um, I'm gonna take my sweet ass time,
Hmm.
you know, because that's for a normal person. That's not for a person who, you know, does what we do, you
Yeah.
know, flipping trees and throwing heavy shit and
Hmm.
like being very aggressive with my hips. So yeah, I'm just gonna take my time and like get 100 before I start like rushing back into things.
All right. Well, dope. Sounds great. Well, one of the reasons I was excited to have you on is because we're trying to get more dope female athletes on here because it's a part of the sport that's like growing just like crazy. So we've already had Nikita on, who's a fucking sweetheart. Love her.
Kita. Hey Kita, love you.
Yeah, right. She's she's having a baby soon. Congrats.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I saw that.
that's
That's
so
awesome.
exciting. But like, what do you want people to know about the women's sport? How does that look landscape wise for y'all out west? Have you noticed anything? I'm throwing out like 4 questions. I'm bad at this. Probably shouldn't run a podcast, but here we are. Um,
You talk too much, and I
Hey, it's
talk
just
all
yeah, yeah.
balance
Matt
it.
just sits over there quietly on his phone, and I just don't shut up. Um,
Matt, I forgot you were there. Matt, where are you?
that's really it. You'll throw out like a number from your collegiate shot put, and he'll be like, "That's good," and then he goes silent again. Um, but all right, so I'll rein that in. I'll pick one of those questions. Uh, the landscape of women's Highland games on the West Coast. Have you noticed anything different for the games that you're at typically, as opposed to like when you'll travel to other games? Is there anything you think everyone's doing like differently or well or poorly on the West Coast? Like, has it been any different for you out there versus when you have to travel?
I would say the shoot. Okay, in the States, it's fine. When I went to Scotland a couple of times, it was like I get they're trying to like figure stuff out,
Mm-hmm.
but like, I'll never forget I picked up like our weight that we are supposed to throw, and like the circumference of the handle like wouldn't fit my hand. Like I
Yeah.
threw it with 3 fingers. You know what I mean? Like just that, but like I don't like I feel like out here it's just the norm. Like we're pretty spoiled. I always say that, even though we're not spoiled to have normal stuff, but like we are, like from
Yeah.
classes, equipment, um, and maybe I'm just biased because it's my local organization, but SAAA, throwing it out there. Like we keep up our equipment and just the support of, you know, um, everyone around you, including
Mhm.
me. If you want to come out and you're new, like you're going to have that, support from like seasoned athletes and the seasoned staff to help and keep everything like running smoothly. That's a biggie. I would say as far as the women's pro class, um, start offering more pro class for the women, and
Yeah.
but as far as in general for the women competing, I feel like everything's good.
Awesome.
Um,
How? Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
no, I was trying to hear your follow up.
Okay. Yeah, I was just gonna say, to start offering more pro classes, how do you think? How do we actually accomplish that? I mean, the short answer is either money or give a shit. I think those are the two reasons that people don't one way or the other. But like, how do ADs start accomplishing that? Like, if you had to give them a piece of advice or point them in a direction, how does that get accomplished? How do we keep the positive growth that we've had and get more of that out there? Do you think?
I would say just that, like it's going to take growth. So, when I'm asking or saying like, hey, offer a women's pro class, look at what you can provide. How many athletes can get on the field? Maybe, the first year it'll probably start off with just 5 women. Okay. Show, what the pro women are doing. Um, get a year to fundraise, like allocate the funds for the pro women's class, and then build up on it. And then each year it's growing. Like I I don't understand how some comps are like, oh, we can't do it, but then they have like a full like men's pro class with like 8, 10 athletes. You know what I mean? And it's like, well, okay. I mean, if you really wanted to, like, you're gonna.
Yeah.
If you really wanna, you're gonna. And I've seen some smaller games coming through and making it happen, like Phoenix and Albuquerque. They did it for the first time last year, and it's just and they come like letting us know like, oh, well, we can't offer this, but we have this. But like the fact that you're even like looking out for us and you're creating a space for us, like shit, like that's how stuff gets started, and that's how it grows and it gets bigger. And I'm just looking forward to like more games and more ads, getting things going. I understand it's not like out of nowhere you're going to have a budget and be able to provide a class, but I'm just saying like don't just have a short answer of, well, we can't. Well, why can't you?
Yeah. No, I like that. We've got frankly a lot of dinosaurs in this sport that I don't think want to put in the effort to change the way that things are being done, and it's holding a lot of that back.
Yeah.
They're acting like it's impossible when really if they just took the time to put in the work, they could pull something off. Oh, Matt's nodding.
Yeah.
He's gonna say something.
It feels like we do have kind of an old guard versus new guard thing going on right now, where the next generation of ads are taking over and the sport is changing rapidly. So hopefully it's a good thing.
Yeah.
I feel like so far it is,
Yeah.
like even though, going into my 9th non-competing season, um, it's still like a baby compared to some people that's been, around the sport for like years and years. But I got it. Like, yeah, there are some old heads that, they don't want to get with the times or whatever. But then
Mhm.
there's a lot that's been a part of that growth. Do you know what I mean? Like,
Oh yeah.
because they were there when, Adrian took her first throws, or even before that, like with Summer Pearson competing like way back in the day, and like hitting huge numbers. And even though like it wasn't like a large class or different classes for the women, they've been part like watching it grow. Do you know what I mean? And watching our like throws get bigger and records seeming like unreal. You know what I mean? Like I think when
Oh yeah.
I came into the sport, I think the women's sheaf record was like 32. What is that now? Like 36, 37? Like
Yeah.
it's ridiculous.
We're
And
lightweight. I mean, you've got what is her name? The girl that threw like well over 100 feet several times. I mean, she's just
Try 100,
yeah.
Oh, Jamisa?
Yes. Yeah.
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 I mean, killing it. And like, what would happen if we had never gotten her into the sport? Like, that's a crazy number. And then like, as soon as it falls, it'll be the same thing it is everywhere, where you'll start seeing it happen more and more. Like, so it's crazy exciting. And kind of what you were talking about earlier with trying to get like an opportunity for women's novice classes and stuff, like that's how you get more people in the sport. And some of those ADs that have kind of, been willing to adapt, like you said, hey, they might have seen so-and-so come up or do this or do that. Well, that wouldn't happen if we didn't get new people into the sport. And we can't grow any of it if we're not trying to do that as well. Like, you have to put the people on top that already deserve to be there, but also try and find a way to keep bringing more people in. You can't do one without the other. It'll choke itself out.
Yeah, and also to remember, like, I am so grateful to, be in the position that I'm in, and, to experience some of the games I get to experience, as a pro thrower. But I also will never forget, like, just all the games I did, like, as an amateur, as a lightweight, where, like, it's not just focusing, like, on everybody at the top, like, people in the C class, like, I'm gonna get chills and thrills, like, I just started announcing last year, and man, it's pretty like neck and neck with throwing, because I get to like experience like when people get a PR and they're like screaming their heads off and just excited, like I just get chills, and you know what I mean? Like,
Mm-hmm.
and I was making my rounds and just trying to highlight everybody, because we're out on the field and the crowd is watching us in the stand. They're our fans. We're putting in the work. And it
Mm-hmm.
doesn't matter if you're, a C class thrower all the way up to pro, like the crowd is there to see you chuck heavy stuff and flip trees. So, I go around, I give everybody their props, like, covering the C guys as, neck and neck, trying to make it like, exciting, that they having like a back and forth and throws and stuff like that. And that's what makes up, the games in our community. It's like everybody on every level, because how else, like you said, is our sport going to continue to grow?
Yeah.
And even if there's some people that they're like, all right, they're doing their best and they're working their butt off, and like, they peak as a B thrower. Well, that's fine too, because you're still out there and you're still, the longevity of you being in our sport and being in the community is, I feel like, is what really matters, because, seeing games like, sell out, like classes closing, like that's really freaking exciting.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, no, 100%. You can't gatekeep it and then expect it to still be something good. That doesn't work that way,
Yeah.
But well, that's awesome. Matt, contribute something here, buddy.
I'm trying.
I swear to God. Well, I tell you what are some of the coolest games that you've gotten to go to as a pro female thrower or elite female thrower, or whatever nomenclature you want to use? How does that, what kind of cool opportunities has that given you so far? Like, where have you gotten to go? What have you gotten to do? People you've gotten to meet, stuff like that. Anything that
I'll say the biggest one for me was going to Victoria last season. And I remember always watching the live feed on Facebook, or whenever they like made it available to watch the competitors, because the way they do it up there is the amateurs compete in the morning, and then at like 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock, the pros start throwing, and it's the men and women throwing together, and like the crowd is freaking in it. Like, it reminded me of Scotland, where like we're throwing in the middle and the crowd is like around us in a circle. And just to be there, like I think it was more so not just, oh, okay, like I'm a pro, but it's like, man, I worked my ass off to get here. And at one point, I didn't ever think that I could get there, like watching the live feed and seeing like all the women at the time, like all the pro women at the time, like dropping bombs. And I'm just like, wow, like wide-eyed and inspired. And then so for last year, for me to be there, and not only be there, but play second.
Yeah.
you know, like that just felt like it was surreal, and it was amazing. And I had an amazing time with my husband. So, yeah, definitely Victoria.
Sweet. All right. Let's see.
What do you think your coolest games experience has been, Jeremy?
Me? I don't know that I've had a really cool solitary Highland Games experience yet.
Yeah, that really speaks out. Just
they've all been relatively local. Like every game I've done has been ones I've done multiple times over, and they're super fun. And like there are specific competitions for athletic reasons that like stuck out to me. Like one of the years I podiumed behind Jonathan right before he went pro.
Right.
Like taking second or maybe it was third at that game was like cooler than winning some other games. Because like the level of competition that you got to have at them.
Yeah.
But none of them have been standout locations yet. But we'll get there.
Yeah.
Poland was dope. It just wasn't.
Yeah.
Wasn't Highland Games.
Right.
So. Well, cool. Let's see.
Y'all should come out to Pleasanton. Just saying, y'all apply.
Well, you send me an invite.
I was going to say one of us needs an invite. One needs to fund his
you
own.
apply for Pleasanton. It's an application that they put out.
Well, how do I apply?
Yeah.
I'll let y'all know. Actually, when I see it like getting announced, I'll shoot y'all a message.
Yeah, please do.
I will do that.
Yeah. I'll even throw I won't get it, but I'll submit it.
Don't do it because
I'll make someone take the time to read it and go, "What's this guy doing?
Why is this guy doing this?
What the fuck?" Well, cool.
These numbers can't be right.
Yeah. No. Lightweight start with a 6. Get out of here.
Oh my God.
Look, I know what my strengths are, and it's fucking not lightweight. Hate that event.
Wait, lightweight for distance, Jeremy?
I fucking hate it, Jarvina. I can't make it
bad
click. I'm horrible. Like it's the standout worst event for me.
Yeah,
by far, and I my brain doesn't make it work.
Do you 1 turn or 2 turn?
Started 2 turning again this year. I went back to a 1 turn like 2 seasons ago just because it wasn't moving, and I got my 1 turn above where my previous 2 turn was, and it's still just horrible. We can make this the rest of the podcast. Fix my fucking lightweight, Jay.
Yeah. All right. Okay. You know what? No. Right now, I am.
Yeah, we're gonna go off of here. We're gonna take time. We're gonna sort this out.
I'm going to your Instagram right now. I'm about to go.
No.
There's a lot of weird shit on there. I'm sorry.
You act like we haven't followed each other for like ever. I know you post weird shit.
No, 100%. That was my whole thing. I was like, you know what? If one day, if I can't go pro based on my numbers, I'll just be the guy that makes all the memes for this sport, and everyone will know who I am. That was the goal.
Yeah. He won't stay on his right toe, like as he's actually in the front pivoting and driving through.
That's true.
Like that, the right side of his hip complex doesn't feel like it's doing anything
because
it's not. It just kind of hit and posts up, or it even sometimes does the dumbass like heel toe in the front where he's rotating on his heel rather than the toe. So he just like he gets to the front with a lot of energy, and then he just goes,
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense. The distance I'm able to throw a heavyweight, I should be consistently throwing above 65 feet in the lightweight. Like with
that's because it's easier to be patient with the heavyweight. Like honestly, heavyweight just clicks for me because it's like if you slow down and you can actually like feel that son bitch when you push it. It's easier. I say heavyweight forces you to be patient. Lightweight teaches you to be patient.
Yeah, no, and patience is historically absolutely terrible value for me. That was for the years that I had Beach coaching me. I mean, that was literally, I paid that man money every month to basically tell me to slow the fuck down. And that was it over and over again. Lightweight has been the bane of my existence. Everything else is fine. My body type should throw it really well, and it just refuses to. So...
Want to know how I know that you hate it so much? There are no videos of you. What the fuck?
Yeah, there's a lot of me throwing wob because I'm good at it.
And throwing heavy. Okay, here's one. All right.
Oh no, she's watching it. It's probably one of the breakdown videos where you can really see in slow motion.
We're just gonna start hearing laughing.
Yeah, it's not good.
Oh yeah, you leave your right foot behind.
Yeah.
No, but your first turn is nice and tight out the back.
Yeah, I can
And
land my cast fine.
He's tight for sure.
yeah, it's just that phrasing. It's
Yeah.
just that you look scared going into your second turn.
Yeah, and I fall off to the left. And it's
Yeah.
a timing issue that my brain won't get right. Because the other thing, if you ever, which I don't post them because they look horrible, if you ever watch it from the side, there's no actual like change in speed between my cast to my spread for my lightweight. Like whereas with my heavyweight, like it's a nice patient cast, I land, and then I accelerate a little bit in the drive and actually get that good pull on it and can lift it at the end and finish. It doesn't happen in my lightweight. It's all just one speed the whole time because I'm not patient.
So you can like power throw 50-something feet,
Yeah.
which is the same as your.
That's
throw.
my one turn, which is the same as my two. Yeah, it's. And then when we finally thought last year we were on the right track, and I popped out like a 61
something. Yeah.
10 maybe. Like it was an okay throw.
Sure.
And then it never happened again, and they went back down into the mid 50s again. So it's real goofy. But my finish is costing me dozens of feet. Like it doesn't make sense.
Dozens.
I'm not gonna give you a throw.
All right,
I'm just
it's
saying
what-
throw.
It's costing me 10 feet probably. Like it's
3 dozen. 96. New
Yeah.
world. Fuck you.
Yeah, it's not good. Are you still just watching it and laughing at me? What's happening over there?
No, I don't see.
Yeah.
You guys like know me personally. That's I get pumped with like helping people. Like it, we all have our things. Like mine is just if I can move my feet. If it was a wire hammer, everybody would be done. But
Yeah.
I can't. So it's just yeah.
Yeah, no, I took to stones like relatively naturally. Like I'm not stellar. I'm not a pro for a reason, but like I have respectable stones. And then I have a respectable heavyweight. I've got decent hammers. I've got a good sheaf. I've got a good wob. I can't throw lightweight to save my damn life. Like it's just the one event that refuses to click. Like Matt can tell me if I'm wrong here, but I think everything else is
Yeah. I was thinking about mine. I think all of mine are within 50 points of each other.
yeah, and mine aren't. I went through and completely nerded out last year and made a whole little Excel spreadsheet with like all of my throws and their point values and all that. And lightweight's just, it's technically not that far behind points wise, but if you break it down by like everyone else that's in the class that I'm in,
Oh, yeah.
it's
Low
not where it needs to
percentile.
be. Yeah. Yeah. For everyone else that I'm throwing against, it's all of my other numbers that keep me in that group. It's not my lightweight. So,
Gotcha.
yeah.
It'll click. Something's gonna click.
I mean, something's going to click. It'll be that or the Glock. I don't know. Something's going to happen. But
This is satire.
yeah, that was for legal reasons. That's a joke.
Allegedly.
Allegedly. Yeah. What am I, a cop? Anyway. Narcs. Anyway.
Actually, by points, your heavyweight's worse. But
That's what I'm saying. But if you go to a game
by overall.
and throw a 31-foot heavyweight, that's a much more competitive number than a 54-foot lightweight. Like
by points, your heavy hammer is the worst.
yeah, I don't enjoy heavy hammer. I like light. Right? It's a stupid event. Let's just get rid of it.
I like it.
Shut up.
My
You get paid to do this. Why don't you be quiet,
My
man?
hammers are good right now.
Yeah, right now. Give it 2 months and then you
Right.
get hit on the head and they don't work anymore. Oh, yeah. Anyway, well, that was a fun little reprieve of making fun of me. Thank you, Matt, for finally contributing something.
I'm trying.
Killing it. Is there any fun drama going on the West Coast?
Fun drama?
You got any gossip?
Yeah. You got any good meme material happening out there right now?
I ain't in it.
Oh.
I'm literally like, I'm literally like the Homer meme, like backing into the bushes when stuff pops off.
Just fading away.
Yeah.
little kid throwing up the peace sign and then just poof.
Yeah, like, or maybe I'm peeking through the bushes to get the tea, but I'm not like fully submerged in it. But yeah, I mean, not really.
All right. This is just fun. It's our little outlet of we get to say whatever we want, but at the same time, I know some people don't want to make people mad, but we give everyone the opportunity.
Oh no,
Uh,
I'm not
I'll
gonna.
piss off some bitches if I was upset, but I'm legit. I would say it. I'd say it with my chest, but no, there's like we're all just trying to make some sunny games happen out here.
keeping the vibes positive. I'm here for it.
Speaking of sunny games, Jeremy's season opener tomorrow is supposed to rain all day.
Yeah, it's gonna be great.
Ew.
Yeah, I'm coming off of like 5 or 6 days with either the flu or COVID. I don't know because they wouldn't test me because they were like, we'd tell you to do the same thing either way, which is suck it up and rest. And I was like, okay, cool. So yeah, starting Saturday, I was just sick, and yesterday I finally felt like a human, and now I get to go throw tomorrow, and it's gonna downpour all day long. So I'm hoping at least everyone's weights will be crap because mine historically won't get worse in the rain at least. So
You don't speed up at all.
no, it really it saves that problem from existing. But yeah, we'll see how that goes. But it's going to be torrential downpours, I think, until at least 2 or 3 o'clock.
I think it's only noon, but yeah.
Is it noon now? That'd be good. But
I mean,
I experienced that when I was in Boston.
oh
And
yeah.
oh my gosh, and everybody was looking at me like I was crazy. So I'm like, I'm from SoCal, so
We don't
I
have
usually have my umbrella to block me from the sun. So I was like, I got an umbrella, and I was like running around the rain. So I was like, we don't really get this. Not in the middle of a competition, but we.
Matt, what are our usual go-to things? Oh, strength versus technique. Which one's more important? Let's get someone else's opinion on here because I know what Matt and ours are. Because I feel like a lot of people and old heads all get divided into a camp of you don't need to go to the gym for Highland Games. You just need to throw a lot. You want to confirm they're really wrong?
Both. I think it's just when you should be focusing on getting really strong and then maintaining. But I rely on technique. And I mean, I've thrown against people who are way stronger than me, and I've thrown further than them. So explain that.
Hey, all right. I like it. I like it. Hey, that actually that got my brain juices going. What is a typical? Let's break it down by in season because I think everyone's season is coming up. For you being a elite women's thrower, how do you typically break down your training? Like, are you picking a certain number of days a week that you're throwing versus lifting? Are you doing both at the same time? What does that typically look like for you?
So I throw twice a week, but I will do like drills on other days if something's like not connecting. But lifting is going to be Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday. And so I will throw, actually, no, depends. If an event is like giving me trouble and it's just more mental for me, I probably end up throwing 3 days out of the week. So Wednesday and then for sure Saturday and Sunday, like for sure.
And how are you actually, like, what events are you putting on what day? How do you split up your practices?
I will do like I'll do Braemar, I'll do a heavy day, or sometimes I'll mix it up. I'll do Braemar and then I'll do lightweight for distance, or I'll do like heavyweight and open stone, and then I'll just have like a hammer day because like I said, hammers is not my thing.
Sure.
So I've started dedicating more time to hammers because I was like, I at least need my numbers to be mid-pack in competition. Do you know what I mean? Like, as long as I'm not like always getting dead last in hammer, I'm fine overall. So I started doing like hammers mostly like on Wednesday. So I'll do like hammers and then I'll go do like sheath. Sheath I can fit in like anytime. I just throw like out in front of my house and do it. But yeah, that's typically how I like break stuff like up through the week. And then as far as like getting in a bunch of throws, like trying to get back into like competition endurance, because we're taking at least 3 throws for each event. So closer to season, I'll start like going out and doing at least 6 events, like all distance than one height and trying to get endurance back up because, man, the season opener, I'm always huffing and puffing. Like, what is
Right.
happening?
Yeah. All right. And then how does that end up changing for you out of season wise? How does that?
Out of season, hardly any full throws. Like, I just let my body rest. I'm really big on rest because I am doing this with just what my mama and daddy gave me. So, you know, if you know what I mean. And I give my body like a good rest and then like start up pretty slow and focus on drills. Once again, going back to technique, getting technical with it, and then start taking some, just nice and easy throws.
Yeah. How long is y'all's off season out there? Because like you said, at least when Queen Mary was going, I mean, that was a February game. I mean, y'all's weather is very different from ours. So how does that end up affecting things? Like, are you guys throwing for like a pretty significant part of the year?
Yes and no. Like, it was last season I finally, well, no, what, God dang it, what year is it? I'm old. Okay, it's 2024. So in 2022, it was like more paced out. And then last season, like, I feel like in May alone, I competed 3 times and twice, like, traveled. So that was like really exhausting. Like, I got a good break before Worlds. That was in Pleasanton. But like, oh yeah, and then I got into Colorado, which was a week after Pleasanton. So that was more like, oh, I get to experience this. I've never been here. But at the same time, I was like, oh, a bitch is tired. Like, I am so tired. And yeah, and they were like trying to get me to compete in Seaside because that's like my, I guess, anniversary because it's like my first ever games. And like, and I was just like, I can't. Like, there's no way. Like, I need a rest. I'm done. And then for this year, when I still thought that I'd be competing this year, I was like, oh no, I'm gonna start probably like end of April, May, just to give myself, a longer off season. And then when I found out that World's gonna be in Alaska, which is at the end of June, I was like, oh crap, I'm gonna have to start way sooner again. So it's just it's kind of hard to gauge as far as like, even though our weather is nice and all that, it's more so strategizing for the games you want to do and like how long you want your season to be.
Yeah, that's very similar to us. I mean, we have games from January to December. It's just which ones actually matter. I think our season is truthfully from April to October.
Yeah.
Is when any of the important games are going to be happening, or any of the games that you're actually going to throw good at are April to October. But you feel the same?
Yeah, I'd say so. Because I mean, you can go to Asheville in February, but you're not going to expect yourself to PR in Asheville in February. It's cold and kind of miserable. I love Chad, but Jesus Christ, man, stop. Just tell them.
How cold is it at that games?
Never got above 40 this year.
Yeah. And then it's also typically just a really rainy time of year. Like, winters in Virginia and North Carolina are just wet. Yeah. Like, we're not far enough north to get snow and have everything be pretty most of the time. Like, it's just cold rain all the time.
Well,
so
like Asheville is actually in, Appalachia.
Yeah.
It's in the mountains. So it's,
it just ends up being kind of miserable, honestly. You're just wet and cold and tired, and you can't feel your fingers. It sucks.
Oh, wow. Well, you did a great job just promoting that game. Like, geez.
Yeah. Hey, everyone, go to the Asheville. Well, here's
it's invite only. It's fine.
It's invite only. So if Chad really likes you or hates you, he'll get you to that game. But and like the festival is supposed to be really nice because they have this giant indoor convention center.
It's cool.
And everything else is indoor. Like, they have the music and all the vendors. So like it gives everyone in that area like a cool thing to go do in February when there probably isn't much going on. But then they put the athletes outside.
Yeah.
So
a nice little 6-event game.
Yeah. It's stellar. But we really love the guy that runs it. He's an absolute angel.
He's the guy.
So yeah, it's the same game we're doing tomorrow. And I can't remember the last time it didn't rain at Sedalia. I think at least it definitely rained last year.
It snowed the year before. Not
Before that, yeah. Yeah, so it's also historically one where just for some reason the weather tends to not be great. But tomorrow's going to be wet, but at least it's going to be kind of warm. It'll be like 60 degrees.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to get to 60.
Is it?
Look at your thing. I guarantee you.
I'll go back to looking at
Big
my phone.
mook. You don't have you go to Google for you don't have an app on your phone for the weather?
I don't go on my phone.
What?
You have a crack.
Google for the weather.
I don't do shit.
Yeah.
Throw rocks, okay? Listen. Everyone I want to talk to is here.
Nina, you put your hands down. You're barely awake. But anyway.
Where the fuck are we? Big
What's
Island.
funny is you keep saying how nice our weather is, but it's supposed to rain tomorrow here too.
Oh no,
good for
it's
you.
one of your 3 rainy days.
No, actually, we got like dumped on. We've been getting dumped on, and I don't even know. Like, well, it's our winter, and I say that in air quotes. Is like we just get rain, and then we just chill at the beach.
Yeah. Oh, such a rough time. Also, Matt would like to point out it's only going to get up to 58,
Which is not 60.
It's pretty fucking close. It's a lot closer than it is to 50.
It's in the 50s, though.
Shut the fuck up.
Fuck you.
What's the low gonna be though?
Yeah, what's it?
49. No, 40.
Yeah. Yeah, but that's at like midnight. That
Yeah,
doesn't count. I'm not going to be awake. I'm going to
The
sleep
times
in
that
my
we're
hotel.
awake, like 49.
Yeah, it's much more tolerable than it could be. I'll take it. This is the stuff dreams are made of.
That's what we got. So
Yeah, there's nothing I can do about it now. I already drove out here.
the rain is supposed to stop by 9 now, though. So.
Oh, that'd be sweet.
So you guys said what your most miserable games is out there. What's like the best out there?
Honestly, VSG weekend can be really pretty.
Virginia Scottish Games.
Yeah, Virginia Scottish Games. They always have that Labor Day weekend, and it's when they have the East Coast Championships. Green Hill, when they had that, I used to love Green Hill.
I like Green Hill a lot.
That was awesome. It was up on like a it's not quite a mountain, but it's in the mountains. So you're in kind of a valley on a hill surrounded by a bunch of mountains. So like it was never terribly humid. Anytime I went out there, it was real sunny. It was nice. It was just this huge open park. It was very pristine.
And a really good competition too.
Yeah.
They keep track of the winners, and I think there were like 3 winners in the last 15 years that didn't go pro. Like it's a fairly prestigious comp for the area.
Yeah, it was one of the like out of the 2 to 3 games in this region where like, hey, if you win this as an AM,
You're probably gonna go pro.
Yeah. So that was always a good one. We're really sad that it's gone for now. But hopefully it'll come on back. So
Oh, it's gone for this season?
yeah, it was gone. Was it gone last year too?
Correct.
Yeah, last year, and I think this.
No, I lied. It was
it was gone last year.
Was it?
Yeah, 2023 it was gone. That was the first year it was gone.
You're right, because I won 2022.
Yeah, that's all you want to say. So yeah,
Sorry, what games happened? I won in 2022.
Yeah, shut up. Glad you're out of the AMs, you piece of shit.
I went as soon as I could.
Lies.
Okay. As soon as I got the invite, I moved on. Literally on 2 days' notice, I moved on. So
anyway,
I'm like, hey, don't give him shit. Just step up.
I'm trying, but this fucking lightweight, James. But yeah, Green Hill was always really cool. We're hoping they're able to bring something back. I
think Dublin was a really fun game.
I haven't been to Dublin yet.
It's just under stadium lights. They had it's in the biggest 2-day Celtic festival in the world. You had 33,000 people there each day and like a large population that's actually watching you. So Dublin, Ohio is a lot of fun.
Makes sense. It's called Dublin. You would think a lot of people would show up.
It makes sense.
Yeah, that tracks. I really want to do one of the ones that's supposed to be really cool visually is Grandfather. So I'd like to make it down there for that one.
Sure.
But we'll see how that goes. That's invite only at this point for me. So maybe I've said stupid things on here and no one will invite me anymore. I don't know. Both are valid options.
Very plausible.
So
how does that games even work? Wait, going back to that.
How does that
work? Grandfather.
So for amateur A's, it's invite only. So they'll look at rankings on NASGA or hopefully Heavy Athlete. I don't know how they feel about us.
I don't know how Shag feels about anyone.
Fair.
I'll shit talk Shag.
You're not getting invites to their games
No.
right now anyway, sure.
Like,
But
That is, so give me the tea. Who is that?
so Shag is the Southeast Highland Athletic Group. So we're kind of where we're at in Virginia. We're on the cusp, right? So there's MASA, Mid-Atlantic Scottish Athletics, which has been going on for forever, and so is Shag. But Shag basically for sure does everything south of Virginia, and MASA does the majority of Virginia, and then
a couple of states, Mid-Atlantic.
Yeah, so they'll do West Virginia, they do Maryland, they do Virginia.
They go as far as Ohio.
Yeah, they do some in Ohio until you get into GLSAA territory. Right. But so we're on the cusp, and it just feels like I don't want to shit talk them too much because I'm still trying to get invites to some of their shit. But
I will. They have a good old boy system. Like, it's not based off of points. It's not based off of reputation throughout the community. It's people get invites based off of being buddies with ADs, and that's it. So are the games still full Highland games? Yeah. And do they follow the rules? Absolutely. And the scores count and matter, and I'm sure the games are fun. If you get if you're one of the boys, I'm sure it's awesome.
Oh no, you know what, actually, to visit my previous thing, one of my most pristine games I've been to so far was a Shag game. They've since moved venues, but it was the Myrtle Beach game.
Okay.
I had a blast at that game back in 2019.
Yeah.
Like, that was an awesome year. It was before Garrett went pro, and before Aaron went pro. And so, like, we all went down there through, and then, like, it was on the boardwalk of Myrtle Beach.
Right.
So you just had cool cars driving by all day. Like, you could see the ocean all day long. You could smell it. Like, we all ran and jumped in afterward, and then went and got beers. That was a dope time. But yeah, so there's the tea. Shag is very much a good old boy system. And the way those tend to be, because they do have different ADs for different games, but some of them are just picky about certain little things. And you may well go to one of the games, and if you did one of those things that AD didn't like there are people that have, no one comes up to you and says, hey, I don't like this, I'd prefer you did this. Like, you just stop
get
making
blacklisted.
It into those games without any sort of communication or heads up. Like, all of a sudden you're just out of there. So it's a little unfortunate. I've always had experiences there, but I know not everyone has. So it's interesting to but well, shit. All right, grandfather's off. Let's look at other shit.
Yeah, move on.
I feel like you guys were like also kind of like holding back, but I understand it because I feel
Matt,
like
he probably wasn't going to get invites to a lot of their pro games anyway, so it is what it is. But you don't need them to get to the big show.
I was going to say, the shows I care about
aren't run by
matter.
Shag.
You're right.
Yeah. But
it's kind of like going back to what you were saying earlier about just, like there's the shift, and like people who are ADs are getting younger, you know what I mean? Like, and social media is a big one. So a lot of these old heads aren't like on Instagram and sending each other like stupid ass videos and funny memes. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, I've never met you, Matt, but like we have a rapport on Instagram. Like, I see you, not only that you throw, but you also coach, and like that's bigger. And just posting like how you are in the crowd and all that, like ADs are gonna see that and be like, you know what, he's new, let's get him a chance and get him out here. You know what I'm saying? Like, it sucks like that those ADs out there are just picking the people that's hanging on their dick, but there's other ADs that are looking to like put new blood out there, and
which is great. And for me personally, I would always rather be invited to a game by merit instead of by reputation or dick sucking. Like, I don't fuck with it. If I belong there, I belong there. And if I don't, I don't. And I don't like. I've put too much work into my athletics and my character and my field presence to really give a shit about the shows that are that they wouldn't want me. That's okay. Like, the shows that do want me are really cool shows. So that's all right with me, you know. I really enjoy going up to Maine and the No Fame games, and I really enjoy doing all the stuff in Virginia. Like it's all of Chad's games are fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Like
we can just skip Shag and go down to Danny.
yeah, I'll
We'll
go
just leapfrog
exactly.
him.
Yeah, I'll go straight to Missouri. We'll go on to Danny Webster, who's a fucking badass. You know, like, and that's okay with me. You know.
Yeah, that's basically how I just approach things where I'm like, man, if it's for me, it's for me. You know,
Right.
like I think you just naturally have friendships or just acquaintances that you build relationships with.
Yeah.
But as far as like going out of your way to like suck up to somebody just to like throw at it. And remember, the people who give like games hype is like usually the athlete. So if you know what I mean, like if you're not feeling the hype yourself, like okay, yeah, they're hyping up over there, but I'm good. Like
If I'm not wanted somewhere, exactly, that's okay. It's not something I put my energy to.
yeah.
I'm not in the business to convince people to like me. That's not what I do.
I need all of you to like me. No.
Yeah. It's actually very important you tell me you appreciate
Yeah. I need everyone to tell me I'm doing good.
Yeah. I need the headband.
It's the only thing that keeps me going.
Right.
Oh.
See, I'm just like, I'm having fun either way. Like,
Yeah.
you can be over there at Sourpuss, but
No.
like,
No, but like, and for all the jokes, like Shag does run some of the bigger amateur invite games, but the rest of them really, in the grand scheme of things, aren't that far away.
Yeah.
They're a little further west, but an invite's an invite, you know? So just because it's not within driving distance doesn't mean it wouldn't happen. So it is what it is. We'll make it work.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, Matt, since we're talking about tea, has there been any good drama on or regarding the website lately? Has anyone been butthurt yet that it exists? We can
Not
talk about
butthurt. There was a score claiming issue that.
No, I know. I brought that up to Mike.
Yeah. So, you know, there's.
This is fun because it involves someone out y'all's way, Jay. Someone decided to claim Rick Simmons' scores on Heavy Athlete. And I got a text message saying, hey, I know this guy, and this doesn't seem right. And we did some digging, and if you start pulling off a bunch of 12-foot PRs out of nowhere somehow, it looks really suspicious.
Yeah, I mean, we made a post about that, and it was basically like, hey, you know, accidents happen. If this was an accident, like, this is how you remedy it. If it wasn't an accident, fuck you, like, you're a piece of shit. Yeah. So like, we didn't name names, but it was like, don't steal valor, you know, like this.
Wait, how can somebody still
So in Heavy Athlete, the way your rankings are, because it does make an individual profile for you, you go in and claim your name on NASCA, and that links all of that historical data to your profile, right? So let's say that you threw as Jarvina Routt and you threw as Jarvina maiden name, or Jarvina, they spelled it, you know, with an extra V. You can just go in and claim all of it, and it's all yours, right? And so you have to go back and say, was I married yet? Or, did my AD put in my name with one T? Or, you know, so, and someone just went in and claimed fucking the wrong scores.
But like wholeheartedly wrong.
Wholeheartedly wrong.
Not, it was John Smith and he claimed James Smith's scores
or not, we had
something.
the same name, or not, you know.
It was just like
it was horribly left field. And
super easily fixable, really easy to catch, not actually a problem unless it was malicious. And if it was malicious, then again, the guy can get bent. But like, we'll figure that out, you know.
It was the best system we had for people to try and get their old scores updated into the new database. It's just to have them, when they create a profile, go in and say, hey, all of these historic entries are me.
Yeah.
Because there's no way to just do that for the 1,300 people that are going to compete over the next couple months. Right, you know,
20,000 entries that are in NASCAR.
Exactly. So
my favorite mistake of like when people are putting in marks is when they put in like an extra digit.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know, like somebody threw like 346 feet in like Braemar or something because they meant to put like 36.
Right.
Like that shit's just hilarious.
Especially, this happened a couple of times last year. As someone that stalks the points and trying to figure out where they are, where they need to be, because like a lot of our invites are based on top 10. So you're gonna know these guys' names, you're gonna know their place, you're gonna know all this shit. And every now and then there's a guy that's like, holy fuck, who is this new 8,200 point thrower? Like, what is this? And you look at the first three numbers and it's like, okay, these are mid. And then you get to, you know, lightweight for distance and it's like, wow, 198 feet, that's incredible. Like,
Yeah.
Wait, what?
yeah, right. Like, because
Exactly.
someone put in a wrong digit,
Yeah.
you know?
Someone will fat finger, all of a sudden you jumped up
Right.
30 feet.
Yeah, you have someone, or 100 feet, you know, if someone put in a, you know, you mistype two numbers and all of a sudden they jump 8,000.
And Nazca makes that real easy to fix too.
Yeah.
Just kidding. So, but anyway, hey, do you have anything else for us? We've kept you for like over an hour now. So
I'm chilling. My kid's on spring break. Well, I say my kid, he's a senior in high school, but no, I'm just chilling. Shoot. Do you guys edit this or it's just like raw? Everything goes
I'll edit it down. So all the like dead space in between and all that stuff, I'll go through and clip all that. It'll be a little more polished.
okay. All right.
So, yeah, no worries. If I ever like really ran out of shits to give, I could throw it up as it is right now, but I try to like tidy it up a little bit, you know, make it all a little easier for people to listen to.
Do you guys save like the entire recording?
Yeah, so it all goes in and gets saved, and then I'll chop it up into like manageable pieces. So we got like 70 minutes on the clock right now. So what I'll probably do is go in and edit like 30 minutes of it and remove that 30 minutes and save it, and then do the next part and so on and so forth.
I would say you guys blow up even bigger because it's gonna happen, you know.
Yeah.
Stay consistent, it can happen. And like if you guys get to a point where you're like, we need a vacation or we want to put out like content, you can be like putting out like raw, uncut footage.
Yeah.
And we all go to
Yeah.
jail.
Hear all the side shit talking and stuff.
We've been really drunk during some of these. That may not be the best advice.
There's been podcasts where it's like, oh, Matt's not on this one. And I'll say like 3 words because I'm just dying in a corner. But it's like,
which one was it where you were just horribly hungover? Whose was that?
Zachariah Whittington's, I was fucked up.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
I'd said 3 words.
Yeah, I'm sitting there and Zach, he's out there. He's very matter of fact. And so we're having like a very, like Zach. He came on with an exact lit. He's like, I'd like to talk about X, Y, and Z when I'm on. I'd like to do this. And I was like, okay. You know, so
the night before ECCs?
I think we did one with, we did Patty's. You were,
I was
you
plastered.
You were 6 ways.
Yeah.
Sunday.
I was crunk. Yeah. Well, because it was like, oh, we're going to have a case of beer. I bought a case of beer. We're all going to split it, the 5 of us. And then there were 2 of us drinking.
Yeah,
so
because I had to throw ECCs.
Yeah,
I wanted to not do that.
Fuck. But so it's like, all right, so we're going to have 9 beers. And then Jeremy is like, okay, great. Here's a bottle of scotch I got you for going pro. And it's like, oh, great. So, yeah, anyway.
So you got to drink the whole thing, obviously.
Ew, what is scotch, though?
Rolled around. Like...
Just sweat it out.
I'm here to help the A's. I'm a pro. This isn't a judgment of character. Please, God, invite me back.
Alex likes you. It's fine.
Yeah.
What are you talking about? You sound like basically all the other pros.
Yeah, no, definitely.
You're right. I should drink more.
Yeah. Like, what do you mean? Especially like after competing, and it's like the first thing that you're putting in your body is like beer.
I know a lot of pros who will drink 2 beers before every event.
Yeah.
Ew, fuck that. No.
That's what my lightweight.
Fidelia last year, I had 1 beer per throw.
Yeah. Maybe we'll try that. I'll just grab 2 right quick.
I had 30 fucking beers. I slept in my car after.
Is that after we went to the diner?
Yeah.
With the weirdest fish fry dinner I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah.
Oh,
something.
It really was. Well, hey, did you get a chance to plug everything that you wanted to plug early on? This has all become a blur to me because I'm a professional. Where can people find you? How about that? I mean, not that everyone that isn't in this sport is already following you, but on the off chance that
I was just gonna say, like, I feel like basically try to be connected to everybody in our community. Everybody outside of it doesn't really, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
our little niche sport. But yeah, find me at J Routt Thrower. Or just look me up by J Routt, Routt. On Facebook, I'm not that active, but I try my best to be.
no one's that active anymore, unfortunately. It's gone. The only reason I still have it is to keep up with event pages that Chad runs.
Same. No, honestly, like I wouldn't even have a Facebook if it wasn't for Island Games, because then I realized, oh crap, like there's a bunch of like different groups, and that's how you find out when games are. I was like,
Tell them all to put them on Heavy Athlete, and then you won't have to be on Facebook anymore. But,
well, my parents are on there, so still gotta, you
fair
know. But yeah, if you ever wanted to come out to SoCal and get some games in, like I said, the smaller ones is probably a little too short notice because they're in April. And then in June is the San Diego Highland Games, also put on by SAAA. Same thing, offer all classes. Registration should be opening up soon. So follow me, follow SAAA, and we'll get you connected.
Sweet. Love it. Well, hey, thanks so much for coming on. Come back anytime, and we could do this whole thing over again. We could even like structure it if we really were feeling froggy. But I really appreciate you taking the time out, and just drop us a line anytime. It was great.
For sure. And yeah, keep doing what you're doing. I know that, you know, like you're trying to belittle it, but there's only so much going on within our sport right now, you know.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
I appreciate you guys doing what you do.
Yeah.
Matt's finally got a question right when I'm wrapping things up.
Yeah. I got one. Hey, how do I become a SAAA Tip Tuesday person?
Easy. I'll get you connected with Sean.
That would be fantastic.
Yeah. Oh, I didn't even tell you guys because like
Terrifying.
because I'm not used to like having a title, but I'm actually the vice president of SAAA.
Do that.
Yeah. And Sean Smith is the president. So,
That's right. You had an election not too long ago. I remember
yeah.
seeing all the posts about that. How exciting.
Yeah. So it's kind of cool because it was like one of those where, you know, you kind of like, oh, I'm here as an athlete and I'm doing my thing. And then I like looked around and I was like, wait a minute, I am the oldest person out here. Like I'm the most like, oh damn, it is me. Okay. So I have that same joke with my sister where it's like we look at like my mom and her sisters as an aunt, and I'm looking around like, oh bitch, we the aunties now. Like
yeah. Crap.
Yeah, so I'll shoot you Sean's information. I'm pretty sure you guys are probably already following each other.
Probably.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. So, well, dope.
Well, still, I'm still gonna shoot you his information. I'll let you know or let him know too.
Matt, you have to actually check your DMs and answer them. She's gonna do that.
We'll try.
Okay. Good luck. He has 14 unread messages right now. So
is that right?
It is.
I thought I was bad with 5. What the heck?
Yeah, I can't live with open notifications. So, like, in reality, if you ever need to pass along anything important, send it to me. I'll get it to Matt. Like, but it's terrifying how he lives his life. But it works for him.
Do you not experience anxiety? Like, oh, it must be nice.
Well, I do, but I can. That's the thing.
He's just a self-employed weirdo, so all of this is on his own time.
Well, and the anxiety comes from the too much interaction, not from the.
Where's the bathroom?
I don't give a fuck what people think. So, like, it's not about the missed messages. It's about the fact that there are people trying to talk to me that gives me anxiety. So,
I get that.
Yeah. So I just ignore it, push it down,
way down deep.
Yeah.
I mean, I get it. Like people think that, oh, Jarvina's like cool and she throws with shades. I'm like, I have social anxiety. It's more like, you know, if you ever seen, have you seen Adam Sandler's movie, like Big Daddy, where he gives them the shades and he's like, no, nobody can see you.
Yeah.
Like,
Big eye
right.
Yeah, I get it. But still, pay attention to your messages. If you see one from me or from Sean Smith, answer it, please.
Sure.
Yeah.
No pressure.
We'll make sure he does.
pressure makes diamonds. That's what we're doing here.
Well, then all the pressure.
I
All the
can't wait
pressure.
to gem that social anxiety makes.
Yeah. And my tip for Tuesday is
Fuck.
shit. Always find the porta-john.
Right. Strategically place snacks all over the field. That way you only have to walk around once.
Just hide them under the trig.
Right.
Always carry baby wipes.
Oh
That's my
yeah.
tip.
Baby wipes, baby powder.
Yeah, honestly.
Yeah, we're really just giant children.
Right.
Baby powder.
Yeah, for chafing. Don't worry about it.
Yeah. There's a lot going on.
Right.
Oh.
None of it's.
Your balls. Okay.
Yeah. It is. It's about the balls.
Okay.
Some of us just have big thighs.
Yeah. Nope. I wish that was the problem.
I wish.
I wish. All right. Well, that's a great note to go out. I'm not editing that part out. I'm
I'm
leaving that in.
That's just gonna be like the only soundbite. It's just me saying your balls.
Yeah. I just found a subtitle for the episode. Oh, good. I'm glad we were able to end on that note. Genuinely, that makes me happy. Good. That's
Well,
what
all
people-
right. It's been real. Thank you for having me.
Yeah. Thanks for coming on,
Thank
Jay.
you.
For sure. All right. Bye, guys.
Bye.
The Lloyd Family Farm Highland Games. Signups are now live on Iron Podium. Go to the filter feature and select Highland Games. You should be able to find it. If not, just search Lloyd Family Farm Highland Games on ironpodium.com, coming up in April of 2024. We'd like to take a moment to talk about our other sponsor, ChemStud. ChemStud is an app to help you with chemistry. Written by a high school chemistry teacher who was tired of explaining everything over and over, ChemStud is capable of solving basically any and all general chemistry problem. ChemStud is capable of showing its work using significant figures and is receiving new updates all the time. ChemStud is available on iOS and Android for $4.99 in the App Store. Stop struggling with chemistry and become a ChemStud today. Hey guys, ignore the road noise, but I also wanted to come on here and remind you guys that we have started a YouTube channel. So if you could, head on over to YouTube, search Going Rogue Podcast. It's going, no G on the end, just an apostrophe. Search that, like, subscribe, whatever you've got to do. The more people we can get onto there, the more content we can bring you guys on a visual platform as well. Thanks.